Guizhou Wildfire unleashes apocalyptic scene. Yuan Hong Bing reveals Xi Jinping's true appearance after drinking. Guizhou female entrepreneur arrested for debt collection from government. Little Pink sues Nobel Laureate Mo Yan, seeking $210 million in compensation draws attention. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Guizhou Wildfire unleashes apocalyptic scene. In Guizhou, a southwestern province of China, over 200 wildfires have suddenly spread, scorching nearly half of the province. However, official channels remain silent on the matter, and state media pretend the incident never happened. This wildfire, peculiar in its ferocity, has exposed certain signs of inefficacy within the Chinese communist regime. The cause of Guizhou's wildfires, whether human-induced or a natural phenomenon, raises questions about the underlying issues. In an episode of NTD's Elite Forum, commentator Tang Jinyuan pointed out three likely reasons for the Chinese state media's silence on the Guizhou wildfires. First, it relates to the Lunar New Year tradition of maintaining a so-called harmonious atmosphere, forbidding negative news. Second, she faces significant economic challenges, with the stock market experiencing a precipitous decline before the new year. Emergency measures were taken to stabilize the market, indicating the severity of the situation. The Guizhou wildfires, occurring amidst these economic troubles, represent a convergence of natural and human disasters that the CCP finds unacceptable to publicize. Third, the local government might not have anticipated the scale of the wildfires, commonly triggered by traditional ancestral worship practices during the holiday season. However, the unusual number of initial fire spots and their rapid spread led to an increased scale of disaster, resulting in a stricter information blackout. Guizhou's infrastructure development has impacted the environment, contributing to climate change effects like droughts in the south and floods in the north. Tang Jinyuan highlighted how large-scale construction projects, initiated during Wen Jiabao's administration, have altered the local ecosystem, potentially leading to significant environmental and climate issues, including the rare phenomenon of a century drought from 2022 to early 2023. Jun Gui, editor-in-chief of Epoch Times, remarked on the role of water scarcity and drought in exacerbating wildfire risks. She noted that climate changes since 2008 have shifted rainfall patterns, aggravating drought conditions in the southwest while increasing precipitation in the north. These climatic shifts have had mixed impacts, including mitigating desertification in some areas while intensifying droughts and wildfires in others. The Guizhou wildfires have revealed vulnerabilities in China's environmental management and urban planning, highlighting the consequences of large-scale constructions and interventions in natural systems. As 2024 ushers in a new phase according to Chinese astrological cycles, it symbolizes a period of purification through fire, according to independent TV producer Li Jun. This year, marked by various fire-related disasters across China, suggests a broader cosmic significance, potentially signifying a time of natural reckoning and transformation. The occurrence of wildfires in Guizhou and the subsequent response, or lack thereof, by the authorities exhibit signs of systemic issues within the autocratic regime, reminiscent of historical patterns observed in the final stages of various dynasties. Yuan Hong Bing reveals Xi Jinping's true appearance after drinking. In one edition of Elite Forum, Professor Yuan Hong Bing shares his personal encounters with Xi Jinping during the 1980s, shedding light on Xi's character and governance style. Back in the 1980s, as a group of young academics from Peking University, Yuan and his peers harbored aspirations to influence the highest echelons of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, particularly in the wake of Hu Yaobang's ousting and the subsequent ideological shifts. They aimed to advocate for Hu's political ideals and continue the push for liberalization within the CCP. Xi Jinping, despite his position as vice mayor in a remote area, became a focal point of their engagement strategy due to his familial connection to Xi Zhongshuan, a CCP figure who had remained loyal to Hu Yaobang during his downfall. The younger Xi's family had faced persecution, instilling in him a deep-seated fear that his father's fate might impact his own career trajectory. Their interactions, often fueled by Maotai liquor, revealed significant insights into Xi's worldview. When intoxicated, Xi Jinping shed his veneer of reserve, revealing a mind steeped in Maoist orthodoxy. One striking revelation was Xi's assertion that China's population was not too large, but rather too small. In his intoxicated state, he argued fervently that China needed a staggering 4 billion people to fulfill its communist destiny of global dominance. This belief, rooted in Maoist ideology, offered a glimpse into Xi's worldview, a blend of traditional communist dogma and a fervent desire for China's ascendancy on the world stage. In a revealing incident, Xi Jinping's demeanor drastically shifted during a heated argument with Bai Yanpei, the former Yunnan CCP secretary. Bai criticized the human cost of the Korean War's Chosin Reservoir campaign, leading to a physical altercation with Xi, who vehemently defended the campaign's strategic importance despite its losses. This clash, reminiscent of Mao Zedong's uncompromising mindset, underscores Xi's willingness to prioritize political and military ambitions over human lives. Yuan Hong Bing speculates that this incident may have influenced Bai's subsequent severe sentencing. Xi's behavior differs significantly when sober compared to when drunk. Normally, he appears reserved, even giving off an honest yet somewhat foolish vibe, boasting about carrying heavy loads without shifting shoulders, a claim he made long before becoming prominent. However, once drunk, he transforms, displaying extreme subjectivity and decisiveness. This dichotomy likely stems from his family's historical persecutions, leading him to conceal his true thoughts when sober, only revealing his genuine self under alcohol's influence. Yet, beyond his Maoist fervor, Xi Jinping's interactions with Yuan also highlighted a nuanced understanding of Deng Xiaoping's legacy. While critical of Deng's economic reforms, which he saw as a departure from Mao's path, Xi recognized their pragmatic benefits for China's development. However, he remained cautious, wary of the potential political upheavals that could accompany such reforms. Yuan's narrative not only provides a window into Xi Jinping's ideological convictions but also underscores the complexities of Chinese political dynamics in the post-Mao era. By delving into the psychological underpinnings of Xi's worldview, Yuan offers valuable insights into the future trajectory of Chinese governance and its implications for global geopolitics, particularly in the context of Taiwan. Guizhou female entrepreneur arrested for debt collection from government. Mai Jiai, a female entrepreneur from an ethnic minority, has been demanding payment for 10 government projects, including a relocation project, kindergartens, and primary schools in Lupanshui City, Guizhou Province since 2016. Despite completing the projects by 2019, she faced a refusal from the Shuicheng district government to pay the full amount, offering only 12 million yuan to settle the accounts, which she declined. Despite efforts to audit and settle the accounts, including reporting to higher government levels and obtaining official acknowledgments of the payment arrears, Mai Jiai's companies faced bankruptcy, employee unemployment, and personal hardship. Multiple lawsuits against the responsible government bodies have entered the execution stage, revealing suspected fraudulent activities and asset transfers by the debtor entities to avoid payment. In 2022, government representatives denied recognizing the arbitration awards and refused to pay due to lack of audit, despite evidence of loan misappropriation by the debtor entities. Mai Jiai's attempt to legally address the payment default led to her and her legal team's arrest, framed as picking quarrels and provoking trouble by the government. The experiences of Mai Jiai, which seem absurd and roguelike from an outsider's perspective, are not unique. Mr. Hu Liren, a former entrepreneur and investment banking expert from Shanghai, now living in the U.S., recently shared his similar experiences on the Elite Forum show. Hu Liren owned a tech company in Shanghai that produced energy-saving large central air conditioners and held many patents. After industrializing in 2016, he purchased tubes from a company in Shandong, only to find later that they were counterfeit, resulting in losses of several million yuan. When he approached the manufacturer, they denied any responsibility. Hu then appealed to the Shandong provincial government, which sent an investigative team to Shanghai. After their investigation, they told him that it was normal for local enterprises to produce fakes and that he would have to bear the losses himself. They warned him that if he returned to Shandong, he would be arrested on charges of picking quarrels and provoking trouble. Hu Liren consulted a friend working at the Shanghai Municipal Letters and Calls Bureau, who advised him not to go to Shandong, as he would definitely be arrested for affecting the government's interests. The rationale was that taking down the enterprise would affect their tax revenue, crucial for local government development. If Hu escalated the issue, the government would sacrifice him to end the case, even potentially leading to his death. Regarding the oppression of private enterprises and local debt, Guangdong's senior lawyer handling economic cases, Wu De, a pseudonym, mentioned in an interview with Epoch Times on February 28 that local debt is a huge black hole. The practice of criminalizing debt has spread nationwide, often hidden from the public eye. Wang He, an expert on China issues, told Epoch Times that the projects undertaken by Ma Yijiai included Central Special Poverty Alleviation Funds projects, which are fertile ground for CCP's corruption. However, the biggest problem with such projects is receiving payments, requiring upfront funding by the contractors. Thus, despite the high potential profits, there are significant risks. Wang highlighted the deep-seated corruption within the CCP's local governments and their collusion with organized crime, especially in financially dependent regions like Lupanshui. The allocation of more central government funds to such areas often leads to increased corruption among local officials. He criticized the CCP's governance for its lawlessness and corruption at all levels, which has perverted the traditional saying about the resourcefulness of people from challenging environments to now signify the production of corrupt, immoral officials under CCP rule. Wang advises that the best recourse for ordinary citizens to protect themselves is to disassociate from the CCP. Little Pink sues Nobel Laureate Mo Yan, seeking $210 million in compensation draws attention. Mo Yan, China's first Nobel Prize in Literature laureate, has maintained a low profile since his win. However, he recently came under scrutiny again when someone claimed that Mo Yan's works infringe upon the heroes and martyrs, leading to a demand for 1.5 billion yuan, approximately $210 million, in compensation. This has once again drawn attention to Mo Yan. On February 27, a Weibo user named Speaking Truth Mao Xingho posted that he had filed a lawsuit against Mo Yan in a Beijing court, demanding the court to order the removal of Mo Yan's problematic books. According to the complaint he filed, many of Mo Yan's works are accused of infringing on the heroes and martyrs, demanding Mo Yan to apologize to the entire nation and compensate every Chinese person 1 yuan for reputational damage, totaling 1.5 billion yuan, approximately $210 million. The plaintiff's complaint accuses Mo Yan's novels, such as Red Sorghum Clan, Frog, and Life and Death Are Wearing Me Out, of portraying the CCP's Eighth Route Army as not sincerely resisting the Japanese and harming the common people. In the novel Big Breasts and Wide Hips, Mo Yan describes the communist forces oppressing the common people, leading to their suicide. Another novel, The Day the Chairman Got Old, is alleged to defame Mao Zedong. Additionally, the plaintiff accuses Mo Yan of defaming CCP officials, claiming that serving the people as diligent workers and public servants is deceptive. The lawsuit also includes statements made by Mo Yan on TV programs in Taiwan and speeches given upon winning the Nobel Prize in Literature. The plaintiff mentioned that according to the Heroes and Martyrs Protection Law implemented by the CCP in 2018, denigrating or desecrating the deeds and spirits of heroes and martyrs could result in criminal liability. This lawsuit has received support from many Maoists and Little Pinks. Hu Xijin, former editor-in-chief of the Global Times, also commented, suggesting he sees this as an individual's attempt to self-promote through targeting Mo Yan, accusing the plaintiff of using populism to label Mo Yan as insulting the martyrs. However, the plaintiff, Weibo account Speaking Truth Mao Xingho, declared on March 1 that he could no longer tolerate it and decided to sue Hu Xijin. Regarding Hu Xijian's statements, the Weibo account World of 2049 criticized him for harvesting traffic and argued that while Hu appears to defend Mo Yan, his perspective essentially suggests that suing Mo Yan is inherently wrong. From a communication standpoint, this is considered a controversial statement that triggers wider discussion. Additionally, some netizens have unearthed past statements from Speaking Truth Mao Xingho, finding that he had repeatedly claimed that if his complaints and reports against Mo Yan were ineffective. Following the lawsuit against Mo Yan that sparked public interest, Zhang Xing, a professor at Tongji University in Shanghai, stated that it is necessary, both as a writer and as a professor, to argue on behalf of Mo Yan. Silence now could lead to more writers, including himself, being sued for their speech in the future. He expressed uncertainty about the grounds on which Chinese prosecutors would investigate Mo Yan and the outcome of such an investigation, but firmly supported Mo Yan. He argued that attacking a writer with literature published years ago is a regression that poses a threat to everyone if not promptly intercepted and halted. This support is not just for Mo Yan's right to write but also for defending the right to speak, safeguarding the future of the nation and its people. Mo Yan, real name Guan Moi, and native of Gaomi, Shandong, has produced a unique body of work since 1985. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2012 for his work that merges folk tales, history, and the contemporary with hallucinatory realism, becoming the first Chinese citizen to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature. Mo Yan has served as the vice chairman of the Chinese Writers Association and has been a part-time professor at East China Normal University, Shandong University, a visiting professor at Qingdao University of Science and Technology, a part-time professor at Shanghai University, and is currently a professor at Beijing Normal University. Let us know your thoughts on today's topic by leaving a comment below. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. It inspires us to continue creating more quality and reliable content. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting insights from China Truths. Thanks for tuning in.